I'm Shannon, and welcome to Shannon Reviews, where I just review stuff. Yes, I know I said that the last video I did was the last episode of Knight Rider month, but I can't count, and then I started thinking, there are a couple of stuff that I forgot or didn't say because I didn't think they would be relevant to the video. So I thought I'd put whatever miscellaneous stuff that I may or may not have said into this one. So, let's get started.
Patricia McPherson, who played Dr. Bonnie Barstow on the show, wanted a more romantic relationship with David's character Michael Knight, but the producers wouldn't allow it. Patricia appears in the final episode of Season 1, but not in Season 2. So instead, at the opening of Season 2, we see Rebecca Holden as April Curtis. No explanation on why she is there, no reason as to why Bonnie left, but we'll get to that in Season 3.
I think with what led to creating an evil twin for Michael in Season 2 was to boost the ratings up. Since this controversy, I think, was spread, it was unwarranted, but they wanted to give the fans something. I'm sorry for this, I know Patricia left, but here's a new technician and an evil twin. I don't know. Speaking of something that the writers didn't elaborate on, plot holes. Now, Knight Rider, as I said in the earlier videos, is 4 seasons. So I'm not going to cover every single plot hole in Knight Rider. If you want to add any extra stuff, please feel free to write in the comments below. I'm only going to be focusing on Garthe Knight Plotholes. First and foremost, as I said earlier, Garthe Knight is one of my favorite TV villains. And as I also said earlier, Goliath Returns is one of my favorite episodes. And there were a lot of plot holes or information that they left out that might confuse some audiences. I know when I rewatch the episodes, especially, they don't give enough information. So let's ask the questions and let's theorize the answers. So in my favorite episodes of Season 2, I forgot to mention a couple of things. One of which was that Garthe Knight was sent to 3 consecutive life sentences in Africa. And during that time, he befriended a man by the name of Sambe Kuna, and he was a part of the Pan-African Liberation Movement.
Garth had a lease on diamond mines, and Sambe Kuna had men. Sambe ordered his men to go into the mines. They did, and they all died. At the end, Garth and his friend Sambe Kuna had a cache full of diamonds before they left.
Also, in maybe one of these letter correspondences between Garth and Elizabeth, Elizabeth probably mentioned the death of Wilton and how Michael Long became Michael Knight. She probably, Devin probably wrote to her, and Elizabeth probably wrote to Devin. Still unclear. In Goliath Part 1, because a lot of these 2-hour episodes, each season opener was a 2-hour episode that was broken up into 2 parts. So in Goliath Part 1, Devin is in the office and he's telling Michael about Garth. The only thing we know about Garth is that, as I said earlier, he was resurrected from 3 consecutive life sentences in Africa. He does not mention how long Garth was there. We don't know how long since his resurrection from Africa or his escape. We don't know how long he's been back in the United States. But what I found on KnightRiderArchives.com was the original script for Goliath, and I found some pretty cool info.
According to the first draft of the script, Garth got those sentences in 1977. So, if we take that year and subtract it from David's birth year, which is 1952, Garth was sent to prison at 25 years old. So now, if you take the season 2 premiere year, which is 1983, and subtract that from 1977, that means Garth was only in prison for 6 years.
So this makes Garth 31 when he finally escapes from prison, which makes sense because David was around this age when he filmed season 2.
At the end of both Goliath and Soul Survivor, Garth and Adrian are both sent to prison. Adrian escapes because money buys all, and since Adrian rebuilt Goliath, Goliath broke Garth out of prison. Not exactly sure how Adrian came to know who Garth was. In Soul Survivor, Adrian had a lover named George Atherton. When Michael questioned how Adrian knew about Kit, George responds by saying Kit was pillow talk.
I'm not sure to what extent George Atherton knew about the Foundation. I mean, I knew he knew a lot about Kit and what he was and the molecular bonded shell and all that, but I don't know if he knew about Garth, and if so, was Garth also pillow talk?
At the end of Goliath, Elizabeth was sent to some sort of women's prison, while her son was sent somewhere else. The only time that Elizabeth is mentioned in Goliath Returns is when Garth and Adrian are trying to evade a poor policeman on duty. Before Garth smacks the police car with Goliath, he turns to Adrian and says,
"Did I ever tell you that you remind me of my mother?"
On the Knight Rider wiki page, it says that Elizabeth Knight passed away when Goliath Returns was taking place. This is unconfirmed, to me at least, because it is not mentioned in the episode nor anywhere else I have seen.
As I said in the previous video, Knight Rider had a huge impact in terms of entertainment. It was a cultural phenomenon. Video games, Legos, merchandise, movies, replica parts. Some people even had made kit and car replicas. I mean, they don't talk back, but you can actually program it, to say voice commands. It's sort of like with Siri or Cortana. And they replicate the whole entire dashboard and the sensor in the front. So that's pretty cool too. Okay, so this is the final episode of Knight Rider Month. I'm glad that you were able to tolerate me through, five or six videos? So I'm Shannon, this is Shannon Reviews, and I will see you next month. Bye!